the Flight Warning System, FWS. The Flight Warning System is composed of two multifunction computers, MFCs, two flight warning applications, FWA, located in both core avionic cabinets, CAC. An engine warning display, EWD. Two EFIS control panels, EFCPs. Two master warning push buttons, MW. Two master caution push buttons, MC. An emergency audio cancel switch. A takeoff configuration test push button. A left maintenance panel. The MFCs send an audio warning to the captain's and first officer's loudspeakers and activate the flight warning system on the EWD. The flight warning system gives the crew an operational aid for normal and abnormal aircraft systems configurations management. The flight warning system performs the following functions. In case of detected alert, it draws crew's attention through visual and oral attention getters. It guides the crew to the appropriate faulty system or subsystem by sending messages on the crew alerting window. It checks that the aircraft is in takeoff configuration, flap setting, no aileron lock disagreement, pitch trim setting in the green band, TLU low speed, and power management in takeoff position. It temporarily inhibits some alarms during takeoff. It allows the crew to carry out normal procedures, checklist. It enables the crew to carry out abnormal and emergency procedures. It allows the crew to know limitations and/or outstanding actions. It helps the crew to evaluate the system status during the procedure process by displaying the relevant system page on the MFD. It provides flight envelope protection against overspeed and stall, oral alarm for maximum operating speed, and oral with stick shaker pusher activation for stall. The flight warning system has three different logics of failure detection and treatment. In logic A, aircraft system sensor triggers local alert on the control panel and sends signal to MFC, which triggers attention getters. MFC sends signal to the flight warning application, FWA, implemented in the CAC, which triggers alert flags on DUs and central alerts on the EWD, along with the associated procedure. In logic B, aircraft system sensor sends signal to MFC, which triggers attention getters and local alert. MFC also sends signal to the flight warning application implemented in the CAC, which triggers alert flags on DUs and central alerts on the EWD along with the associated procedure. In Logic C, Aircraft System Sensor sends signal to the FWA, which triggers alert flags on DUs and central alerts on the EWD along with the associated procedure. FWA also sends signal to MFC to trigger attention getters. The EWD's lower part is dedicated to the FWS display. 3 different areas give specific information. The alerting window on the left, which displays alert messages, the procedure window on the right, which displays the appropriate procedure, the status and memo area below the procedure window, which gives additional information. The alerting window can display up to 18 alert messages. Alert messages help failure identification. Depending on the priority level, alert messages are displayed in red or amber, and red messages are displayed at the top of the list. The message flashes in reverse video until the failure is acknowledged by depressing the master warning or caution push button. The status and memo area is used to give additional information. When there are more than 18 active alerts, a down triangle is displayed in the left box of the window to indicate that further alert messages are available on a second page. The down triangle flashes if a new alert is detected, and this new alert has a lower priority level than the last alert message displayed in the alert window. When navigating down the alert messages below the 18th message, an up triangle will be displayed to indicate that other alert messages are available above. A takeoff inhibit memo is displayed in green in the second box of the window when takeoff inhibition function is activated. A status is displayed in amber in the third box of the window when abnormal checklist has been completed. The last box shows either a countdown in amber color or the fire agent requested in blue color. Finally, some additional alerts are also displayed on the EWD. As an example, the takeoff configuration test result. A cyan takeoff configuration test flag associated with a green OK flag indicates a correct configuration for takeoff. A red configuration flag associated with an amber flight control flag indicates an abnormal flight control configuration for takeoff. Pitch trim is out of takeoff range, green band, and/or flaps are not set to 15 degrees, and/or TLU is not in low speed configuration, and/or aileron lock lee alert. A red configuration flag associated with an amber power management flag indicates the power management is not set to takeoff position. Control of flight warning is done through master warning and caution located on the glare shield panel and through 2 EFIS control panels, EFCP, left for the captain and right for the first officer. Alert window is controlled through the procedure area of the left EFCP with the clear and the recall keys. Pressing the clear key will clear the clearable alert messages displayed on the alert window. Pressing the recall key will display in the alert window the alert messages previously cleared which are still active. Once all alert messages are displayed and the alerting window is full, pressing the recall key will cycle through other alert message pages if available. The FWS principle remains the dark cockpit philosophy. The detection sequence is composed of the three phases: detection with oral alert and master warning or master caution, identification with alert message in the alerting window, isolation with system controls and indicating panel. Color coding uses red for warnings, configuration or failure requiring an immediate action, amber for cautions, configuration not requiring an immediate action, green for normal operation, blue for normal transient configuration, and white for position control indication or neutralized abnormal configuration. 4 levels of classifications are used for the alerts. Level 3 for warnings with the illumination of the master warning light, the continuous repetitive chime, and the display of alert message, flashing in red reverse video, then steady red when master warning is depressed. Level 2 for cautions with the illumination of the master caution light, the single chime, and the display of alert message, flashing in amber reverse video, then steady amber when master caution is depressed. Level 1 for advisories with the display of amber alert message without oral alerts. This level corresponds to states requiring crew monitoring only. Level 0 for information, which requires no crew action. There is no oral alert or message in the alert window. This level is not taken into account by the FWS. Of course, Level 3 has priority over Level 2 and Level 2 over Level 1. Priorities are defined for each failure. In the event of simultaneous failures, alert messages are ranked according to the danger to the aircraft. Warning alert messages cannot be cleared. They remain displayed as long as the failure condition is detected. Caution alert messages also remain displayed as long as the failure condition is detected, but they can be cleared by pressing the Clear key on the EFCP. Caution alert messages can be recalled if the failure condition is still detected by pressing the Recall key on the EFCP. In the event of multiple failures detection, associated alert messages are displayed in the alert window and ranked according to their priority level. The highest priority level alert message is displayed at the top of the window. If 2 alert messages have the same priority level, the first one detected will be displayed above the second one. The alert window can host 18 alert messages. If there are more than 18 detected failures, the alert messages having a lower priority than the last one displayed on the page will appear on a second page and a third page if necessary. In this case, a down amber triangle in the status area is used to notify the crew. This triangle is flashing when a new alert appears on a hidden alerting window page. Level 3 alert messages, red warnings, remain displayed at the top of every alert message page. Takeoff inhibition is computed automatically by the FWA. Takeoff alert inhibition is activated with the conditions shown here. Crew is advised of takeoff inhibition activation by the Takeoff Inhibit green flag in the status and memo area of the EWD. Takeoff Inhibit is deactivated at landing gear retraction or manually by depressing Recall push button. The FWS, also inhibits attention getters, master caution and single chime, associated with secondary failures resulting from a primary failure. But alert messages are still displayed. This is the case for electrical DC generator and air bleed alerts resulting from engine 1 or 2 shutdown, electrical AC wild generator alert resulting from feathering propeller 1 or 2, electrical AC wild 1 plus 2 alert resulting from feathering both propellers. The takeoff configuration test is done by depressing on the Takeoff Configuration Test push button. If aircraft takeoff configuration is correct, a blue Takeoff Configuration Test and a green OK are displayed in the test status part of the flight control window. If not, a configuration alert message will appear with master warning and continuous repetitive chime. Red configuration flag and amber flight control flag if pitch trim is out of takeoff range, green band, and or flaps are not set to 15 degrees, and or TLU is not in low speed configuration, and or aileron lock light alert. Red configuration flag and amber power management flag if power management rotary selector is not in takeoff position. The procedure window is located on the lower right side of the EWD and displays the procedures. When no failure or no normal checklist is detected, the page is black. Control of the procedure window is done through the procedure area of EFIS control panel left and right. With no aircraft failure, pressing the procedure menu key on the left EFIS control panel will display the procedure menu. At the top, a message advises the crew that there is no active procedure. The list of procedures is displayed underneath, and the crew can call any of them up manually. The list of procedures with their priority level and all characteristics are stored in a configuration file in the flight warning application. The EFIS control panel item up, item down and validation keys are used for navigation. EFIS control panel left and right navigation keys have the same functions. The crew have to acknowledge each step of the procedure one by one. The active line is surrounded by a cyan box. When the corresponding action is completed, the crew acknowledges it by pressing the validation key. The line then becomes white, and the next focusable item automatically becomes active. The crew can also switch from one item to another one without validation by using the item up and item down keys. Once all the items are validated, a procedure completed message appears at the bottom of the page. The message is focused. When acknowledged by the crew, the checklist disappears and the procedure menu is displayed. Normal checklists are automatically displayed according to the flight phase. The conditions for the automatic display of normal procedures are as follows. Final cockpit preparation checklist is triggered by external power available and selected on or engine 2 started, regardless of the propeller brake status, and aircraft on ground, and engine 1 not running, and parking brake engaged since 3 seconds. Before propeller rotation checklist is triggered when final cockpit preparation checklist is completed. Before taxi checklist is triggered by aircraft on ground and engine 2 running and all doors closed and condition lever 2 set in auto. Taxi checklist is triggered by before taxi checklist completed and parking brake released. Before takeoff checklist is triggered by taxi checklist completed and engine 1 and 2 running and takeoff configuration test completed. After takeoff checklist is triggered by engine 1 and 2 running and aircraft in flight or power management in takeoff and go-around push-button pressed or power management in takeoff and power lever 1 and 2 angle above the notch. Descent checklist is triggered by aircraft in flight and aircraft altitude greater than or equal to alt-cell and vertical speeds less than or equal to -300 feet per minute and landing gear commanded up and FMS 1 or 2 in descent phase for 15 seconds or FMS 1 or 2 in approach phase. Approach checklist is triggered by descent checklist completed. Before landing checklist is triggered by aircraft in flight and FMS 1 or 2 approach phase activated for 15 seconds or landing gear is down and radio altitude greater than landing threshold altitude and vertical speed less than -300 feet per minute. After landing checklist is triggered by aircraft on ground and IAS less than 40 knots. Parking checklist is triggered by after landing checklist completed and parking brake set. Leaving aircraft checklist is triggered by parking checklist completed. Some normal checklist items trigger the display of the relevant MFD system page. For example, during the descent checklist, as soon as the FMS item is cyan boxed, the perf page displays on MFD. When a failure is detected, the associated procedure is displayed in the procedure window. The crew follows the displayed procedure and acknowledges the actions with the EFIS control panel navigation buttons. Once the procedure is completed, the procedure disappears from the procedure window and the procedure menu is displayed instead. If the procedure leads to a status, it is displayed in brackets in the pending area. Pending actions, limitations and inoperative functions are described into the status menu until procedure menu is validated. While performing the procedure, if at least one item has been acknowledged, even if the associated failure is no longer detected, the procedure remains displayed. However, if no item has been acknowledged, the procedure disappears. The FWA displays the appropriate procedure according to the aircraft system's status and the flight phase. The same failure could therefore lead to different procedures. When the procedure is too long for the page, the items are displayed on multiple pages. A cyan down arrow associated with a Next Page message is displayed at the bottom of the procedure. The crew access the next page by selecting and validating the Next Page focus. The Next Page displays an up arrow with the Previous Page message at the top of the procedure to access the previous page which remains available. Some procedures contain crew decision items. These focusable items allow the crew to adapt the procedure to the failure situation. They are displayed with a solid cyan rectangle at the beginning of the line. Above the crew decision item, there is a blank line which is focusable but not acknowledgeable. Note that the crew must use the navigation keys to focus the correct choice and to validate it to display the corresponding procedure page. In the procedure menu, the pending submenu displays the procedures which lead to a status once completed as previously seen. And it also displays non-completed or non-started procedures. These procedures are listed according to their priority level without brackets. The crew can display any procedure by selecting and validating the corresponding line. When a procedure leads to another procedure, this induced procedure appears in the pending list. If there is at least one procedure pending and the crew presses the clear key, a white message, Procedure Pending, is displayed to alert the crew. The crew can recall the procedure through the pending submenu of the procedure menu by pressing the Recall or the Procedure menu key. If the procedure was started but not completed, the entire procedure must be carried out again, as the items previously validated are not memorized. When no active procedure is detected, a white message, No active procedure, is displayed. The crew can manually call up any normal, abnormal, or emergency procedure by navigating through the List submenu of the Procedure menu. In this case, a manual flag appears on the right side of the procedure as soon as one item of the procedure is validated. Also, any status arising from a manually called procedure is displayed in the Pending submenu with a manual flag on the right of the line. If an alert associated with a procedure which has been called manually is subsequently detected, the manual flag disappears. Only manually called procedures and status can be deleted by pressing the Manual Delete key on the left EFIS control panel. If a procedure is associated with an alert message, the procedure has a priority level which is the same as the alert message. In case of multiple failures, the procedure currently displayed remains on, except if a new alert is detected and has a higher priority. In this case, the associated procedure is displayed and the previous one is moved to the pending list. Checklists and procedures are carried out manually by validating each item with the validation key. The FWA does not manage sensed items, except for the fire handles pulling item and the agent's discharge item in the engine fire procedure. These sensed items are displayed in green in the appropriate procedure. When the sensed item is detected to be in the correct position, the FWA sets the corresponding item directly to Acknowledged and displays it in green. Also, on detection of fire handle 1 or 2 pulled in case of engine fire in flight, the FWA starts a 10 seconds flashing countdown in the status and memo area. Then, in the same place, the FWA displays the agent which must be used if it is necessary. And when only one of the 2 fire extinguisher bottles is discharged, and if only one engine fire handle is pulled, the FWA starts a 26 seconds flashing countdown, still in the status and memo area. Once again, the FWA displays the agent which must be used if it is necessary. FWS function is hosted by 4 different computers: MFC1B, MFC2B, Core Processing Module CPM1 card in Core Avionics Cabinet 1 CAC, CPM2 card in CAC2. Failure of one of these computers may have different effects on the flight warning system. Failure of a B module of one MFC will be indicated by the master caution light and single chime sound, and by the display of MFC1B or MFC2B alert message. Alerts are now performed by the B module of the other MFC. In the event of both MFC1B and MFC2B modules failure, MFC1B plus MFC2B is triggered steady without reverse video and without master caution and single chime. Now the crew has to monitor the system panels for local alerts because the alerts partially detected by MFC are no longer computed. Failure of one CPM will be indicated by the master caution light, single chime, and by display of CPM1 or CPM2 alert message on the EWD. The FWA is still available through the remaining CPM. Some alert messages and associated procedures are no longer displayed, and the crew must monitor system panels for local alerts, which remain active. Attention getters, such as master warning, associated with continuous repetitive chime, and master caution, associated with single chime, can still be activated for failures detected by MFCs.
Your answer is correct. 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 Your answer is correct.